The jury is hearing from Ryan Heinz. Now, he was one of the stabbing victims who was seriously hurt the night that Jimmy McGrath was killed. Here he's talking about his interaction with the defendant moments before the second fight broke out.
You said at some point in time you heard somebody say they're back.
Yeah.
When you heard somebody say they're back, what did that mean to you?
I don't really know what it meant to me. I just instantly was like, I want to go see what it is.
So you were curious?
Yes.
And because you wanted to go see what it was, what did you do as a result?
I immediately went right back out the cellar door and walked into the yard.
And when you walked into the yard, showing you State's Exhibit 5. Where did you go? Do you recall where you went? Can you show me in State's Exhibit 5?
I'm somewhere behind like this red bush.
Okay. So you're somewhere over here?
Yeah.
So the record can reflect I'm pointing to the left side, just behind the red bush.
Record can reflect. Thank you.
And when you come outside and you're near this bush here, what do you see when you come outside?
I see the defendant and then I see De Silva.
And can you tell us on State's Exhibit 5 where you saw them?
About the same area. De Silva was, like, if I'm looking at them, De Silva was behind the defendant to his right a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 feet.
So if you're looking this way,
Yeah.
De Silva's over here?
Yeah,
Okay, and the defendant is where?
right in front of me.
And tell us about your interaction. Did you have an interaction with these two?
Yes.
Just tell us about that.
So when I walk outside, the defendant had just like put his shirt up over his head. Like, I can't do it right now, but he like put his shirt over his head and was just like quietly, very calmly saying, "Where's Aiden King? Where's Aiden King? I want to see Aiden King." And just kept repeating that over and over again.
Did you ask him why he wanted to see Aiden King?
I wasn't really worried about it. I didn't care.
And what was your reaction when he was asking about where Aiden King was?
I just was like, "Don't worry about it. I'm right here. What's your problem? Like, why are you back here?"
Yeah, and what was his response?
"Where's Aiden King?" And then I caught, like, I was like, "Why do you have your shirt on your head like that?" I was saying that, and then I pulled the shirt off of his head. Not like hard or anything like that, but I just grabbed it, I pulled it off of his head, and then all of a sudden, like that, it was just a totally different person, and like, just got crazy.
What do you mean?
Like, the defendant was really calm and just quiet and was just like, "Where's Aiden King? Where's Aiden King? Where's Aiden King?" And I'm, like I said, I don't know, I don't care, like, I'm right here, what's the problem here? Pulling the shirt off of his head, and then the second I pulled the shirt off of his head, just starts freaking out. Like, get very upset and argumentative, and forgot about Aiden King and did worry only about me and the people next to me.
And when you say argumentative, what was he doing?
Just like getting real fast and just like, "Oh, like, you took my shirt off my head, like, like there's gonna be a problem now, blah, blah, blah," like, just all types of stuff like that.
Do you recall when you were talking to the defendant in the yard, do you recall who was near you at the time?
Yeah, Nikki DeJesus and Ty Wood right next to me.
And do you recall, if you can, was there anybody near Tyler De Silva?
No, I wasn't worried or paying attention to Tyler De Silva at that point in time.
And when the defendant started to react the way he did and get crazy, as you said, well, what if anything happened next?
Me, Nikki, and Ty immediately were just like, we're from me to the microphone at this point now, away from him, just looking him right in the eyes, and we're just chirping each other back and forth. Seconds, 45 seconds.
At any point during your chirping back and forth, did you ever tell the defendant to leave?
No.
So after about 30 or 40 seconds, what happens next?
Out of nowhere, really, Tyler Rich punched him in the face.
Do you know why he punched him in the face?
He was on his property. I'm not really sure other than that, though.
But how did you see Tyler Rich punch him in the face?
I just saw like his fist and just hit him in the face.
Come over across. Where was Tyler?
I don't know where Tyler was. I just like literally like I was looking the defendant right in his eyes, like right in his face. Like that's all I was looking at. I was locked in on that, and Tyler Rich's fist just punches him.
How do you know it was Tyler's fist?
I figured that out after the fact.
So you didn't know it at the time?
No, at the time.
But it was one of your friends that punched the defendant in the face?
Yes.
And when that happened, what happened after that?
I kind of, it's like weird from there. Like, I just kind of go at the defendant and I punch him in the face like 2 times.
And when you did that, did the defendant engage you?
Yes, he did.
And can you tell us a little bit about how
so
he
like he was stumped, like he's like when he got punched in the face, he stumbled back and just kind of fell. And then that's where like I kind of like got over him and I punched him in the face, and then all of a sudden I just feel like a weird sharp pain in my side, and I just kind of went like this, and I went like this, and I looked down to this, and I see him with his fist clenched up like this, and kind of like his shoulder and like bicep area right here were like held back by something, but he was going like this. And I'm you can say I was like on top of him at this point, but he's going like this. And I just see like a jabbing motion towards my side, and that's where I felt like the stick right prior. And then all of a sudden I'm just like, I gotta get away, like I gotta get out of here. And I get off and I just walk away.
And how many times would you say the defendant hit you?
Oh,
Do you recall?
I mean, I got stabbed 3 times, but I don't know. He was just going and going. Like it was not like he wasn't trying to hit me in a certain spot. It was just jabbing over and over and over, just trying to poke me basically.
And once that happened, you said you had to walk away?
Yeah, I just I don't know, like some instinct in me was just like, get up, get off, like get out of there.
And when that happened, how did you feel?
I was just like dazed, and it's like really like blurry and just like, I don't know. It's just, it's honestly that entire part of the night like is the like least like there I am, I would say.
Okay. And at some point in time, what are you doing in the yard after this happens?
I realized that De Silva is in a fight with his own like group of people, and I kind of just stood there and watched.
And do you recall whether or not you engaged in that?
Just incredible trauma. It's incredible. All right, we're going to step aside here for a break. When we return, Ryan Heinz recalls the moment that he noticed blood on his clothes, realizing that he was stabbed, and hearing his lung collapse. More testimony in the Preppy Party murder trial when we come back. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala, back now to Connecticut for the Preppy Party murder trial for defendant Raul Valle. Now, he's accused of stabbing and killing 17-year-old James McGrath and injuring 3 others during a brawl at a house party in May of 2022. If convicted, Valle does face up to 60 years behind bars. He has twice rejected plea deals offering him 40 years in prison. On the stand right now is Ryan Heinz. He was stabbed by the defendant and has been describing that on the stand. Let's go back in for more of his direct examination.
Now, how long would you say that whole fight took place?
A minute.
And when the fight was going on, what kinds of things do you recall seeing about kind of watching the De Silva fight?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you kind of just stood there, you said, and watched, right? What were you watching? What were you seeing?
Just people throwing punches, I guess, and that's really all I can recall about it.
When you were engaged with the defendant, do you know whether or not there was more than one person engaged with him?
No.
It was just you and him?
Yeah, from what I know.
And at some point in time, when you stop, when you back off from the defendant, do you see where he goes?
No.
Now, when you recall, if you can recall the De Silva fight, do you recall how many people were engaged with De Silva?
Like 3, 4 people?
3, 4? After the fight ends, at some point, do you realize that you're injured?
So, like, kind of as De Silva's getting, like, pushed out, my buddy Ty Wood was right next to me again, and he's like, dude, are you okay? And he's seen my clothes and, like, pointed it out, and I had already started to bleed through my sweatshirt and my shorts, and that's also when I heard my lung collapse in my chest, and I don't know how to describe it, but, like, it was like bubbles coming from out of my chest, and I just immediately got super, like, scared, and I didn't know what was going on.
And when you say you were bleeding,
Yeah.
did you say anything how did you realize that you had been injured?
I just kind of lifted up my
Did you hear anybody scream anything?
No.
Did you see anything else at that point? What was going on?
I kind of just went into, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I thought I was gonna die. Like, I heard the bubbles come from out of my chest, and I just immediately thought the worst. And I walked myself back in through the cellar doors into the basement and sat down and was like, I want water.
Okay. Now, when you were fighting with the defendant, did you have a weapon on you?
No.
Do you recall if Ty Wood had a weapon on him that night?
No.
Do you recall if Nikki DeJesus had a weapon on him that night?
No, none of my friends carry weapons.
All right, let's pause it right there. Ryan Heinz will finish up his testimony on direct right after this break, so keep it here on your front row seat to justice.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, the Diddy sex trafficking trial is nearing its end, and our teams are live from New York with every update. Catch up on all the key takeaways from today's testimony.
Closing Arguments with Vinny Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Friday nights, the WNBA is on Ion. 2 #1 draft picks face off as Caitlin Clark and the Fever take on Paige Beckers and the Wings. Then, reigning champs Liberty head to Phoenix to battle the Mercury. Coverage begins Friday night at 7. Find Ion wherever you watch. Ion, it's on.
The brutal murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
Oh my God, this doesn't happen here.
Detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Kohlberger.
You could tell there was something off about him.
He was stalking them. He was hunting them.
Forget about motive. We don't even have a connection.
This trial will be on Court TV.
And I pray that we have justice.
The Idaho College Student Murders Trial. Live coverage begins this August, only on Court TV.
All right, we're in day 4 of the Preppy Party murder trial of Raul Valle. Now, the jury is hearing the rest of Ryan Heinz's testimony on direct. Remember, he was involved in fights in the first house and the second house, the one that turned deadly. Let's get back inside that courtroom.
So I'll show you State's Exhibit 60.
Yes, sir!
Okay, now, this individual right here on the left, the green sweatshirt, do you know who that is?
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Do you recall at this moment in time in the video, first of all, have you seen this video before?
Yes.
And do you recall, based on your recollection of when you were engaging with the defendant, is this video before or after you were already stabbed?
This is after I was stabbed.
So how is it that you're standing there watching Tyler De Silva, and how is it that you don't know you're stabbed at this point?
just didn't know. Like, I just had so much adrenaline going through me. I was like, this is the point in time where I, like, just something told me in my head, get up, get away from this, like, and that's where I am now. Like that's where I kind of got up, and I kind of just walked and was like, all right. And that's when I realized, like, there was a whole nother fight going on. I didn't even know really there was another fight going on. I really thought it was just me and the defendant.
And at some point in time, actually, you can play the rest of the video. At some point in time, at what point in time do you realize that you're stabbed, and then you indicated you went down, that you talked to Ty Wood, and then you go into the basement? At what point, I guess in that timeline, is my question.
Like the same exact time.
So you hear, he's got a knife, he's got a knife.
And Ty Wood's pointing out to me that I got stabbed.
And then you're lifting up your shirt. Now, I'll show you State's Exhibit 61. Can you see that?
Yeah.
This individual here on the left with the phone out.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
That's Ricky Fiola.
And at this point in the video, you're already stabbed?
Yes.
So, is there a portion of this video that does not capture the beginning of the fight?
Yes, there is.
So, had this video started earlier, we would have seen the entire fight?
Yeah.
State 63. Again, this is,
Me.
Do you know who this is here?
Oh, that's Sal.
Sal Perry?
Yes.
This individual here with no shirt on, you know?
Alex.
Alex Bernston?
Mm-hmm.
How about this kid here with the red hat?
Michael Samperi.
And this is?
De Silva.
And do you recall being here in this moment in the video?
Like the only like point of view like I remember of like watching De Silva. Like this is like what I remember from that. Yeah.
And it's seconds, a few seconds after this that you realize that Ty Wood comes over. Okay.
That's like when everybody started figuring out they were stabbed. Like I want to say like Faison might have been the first one that realized
that you were injured. Did you notice if any, aside from Faison, did you notice if anybody else was injured?
No.
You kind of just lifted your shirt up, went right into the basement, and
pretty much
sat down, said I need a glass of water?
Yeah.
Did anybody else follow you into the basement?
Some people did, but I just don't. I don't remember who it was. Some people did follow me into the basement, and somebody did grab me a glass of water, and then they helped me out back outside because they were like, the ambulances are coming, they're about to be here, you got to come back outside. But I don't remember who it was.
Why don't you remember?
It was there was just so much going through my head at that point in time. Like I truthfully thought like I was gonna die. And it was so hard for me to breathe. I didn't know I had a collapsed lung. I heard those bubbles happen in my chest, and I was just thinking the worst. And I truthfully thought like I was gonna die in that front yard or basement that night.
Did you know what was going on at that moment?
No, not really. I was just kind of in my own world, just like, don't die, just one breath at a time. Like that's literally what I got down to. By the time I was brought back into the yard and my lung was so like collapsed and stuff. Like,
could you breathe?
Like barely. I was like that. Like I barely was able to breathe, and I was just like one breath at a time. Just I literally took it down to seconds. Like I was thinking so small. I was just like, just one step at a time, and I'll make it. I'll be okay, and all that stuff. But yeah, I was just so in my own world, just thinking about life and my life to that point in time. I truthfully thought I was gonna die. And
maybe this might be a good point to stop for the day.
All right. So we are going to adjourn for the day.